Hello friends, I Dr. Rajesh Shinde from Government Polytechnic Karad welcome you all. Now I am going to deliver a lecture on fuel cell. After completion of this lecture, friends, you are able to define and discuss about fuel cell. You are able to demonstrate the working principle of fuel cell. You are able to explain basic requirements of fuel cell. And lastly, you are able to list the application of fuel cell. Now, what is meant by fuel cell? A fuel cell is an electrochemical cell which can convert chemical energy contained in a readily available fuel oxidant into electrical energy by an electrochemical process in which the fuel is oxidant at the anode. Now, friends, there is a question. What is meant by electrochemical cell? So, I hope all you are known the answer. So, a electrochemical cell is a device that converts chemical energy into electrical energy. And the examples are trial cell, lead acid battery, etc. Now, fuel cell is again one of the example of electrochemical cell. Now, we are going to see one of the example of fuel cell in details is hydrogen oxygen fuel cell. Now, what are the types of fuel cells? Friends, there are 5 types of fuel cells. Number 1 is solid oxide fuel cell. Number 2, molten carbonate fuel cell. Number 3, phosphoric acid fuel cell. Number 4, proton exchange membrane fuel cell. Number 5, alkaline fuel cell. Out of that 5, we are going to see in details about proton exchange membrane fuel cell. And the example is hydrogen oxygen fuel cell. So, hydrogen oxygen fuel cell was first designed and demonstrated by Bacon in 1959. It was used as a primary source of electrical energy in Apollo space program. It consists of 2 inert porous electrodes made up of nickel and nickel oxide. The electrodes are coated with catalysts such as platinum to speed up the electrode reaction. And lastly, the electrodes are immersed in a solution of potassium hydroxide as an electrolyte. Now, see what is the basic principle of hydrogen oxygen fuel cell. The hydrogen oxygen fuel cell consists of 2 porous electrodes dipped in electrolyte solution as KOH, potassium hydroxide. There is a continuous supply of hydrogen through this tank. The hydrogen fuel supplied to the anode while oxygen to the cathode. And the membrane in between anode and cathode makes a barrier as hydrogen loses electron at anode. Now, see working principle of hydrogen oxygen fuel cell. The fuel cell produces electricity or power through redox reaction between hydrogen and oxygen. Again, friend, there is a question. What is meant by redox reaction? And I hope you all know the answer. Redox reaction means reduction oxidation reactions. So, reduction means gain of electron, oxidation means loss of electron. So, we can say it's a redox reaction. The redox reaction is going to take place in hydrogen oxygen fuel cell. So, where the oxidation reaction is going to take place and where the reduction reaction is going to take place. So, friends, at anode, oxidation half chemical reaction is going to take place. Hydrogen is oxidized according to the chemical reaction is loss of electrons in presence of the electrolyte, producing water and releasing 4 electrons. While a chemical reaction is going to take place at cathode is gain of electron. The electron flows through the external circuit and returns to the cathode, producing the oxygen. As O2 plus H2O plus 4 electron, we get formation of this OH negative means the electrolyte. Again, we can understand it with the help of this animation. Now, there is a continuous supply of hydrogen to the anode. The membrane prevents the hydrogen and oxygen from mixing. Transfer protons from anode to cathode. Electron travels from anode to cathode through external circuit and load. A chemical reaction is going to take place at anode is loss of electron. That is called as oxidation half chemical reaction. Similarly, the electrons are gained by the oxygen. So at a cathode there is a reduction reaction. So oxygen get reduced. So the overall chemical reaction is going to take place in hydrogen oxygen fuel cell is loss of electron by the hydrogen, gain of electron by the oxygen, and formation of water molecule. So electricity and heat are the byproduct of this chemical reaction. So this is about the working principle of hydrogen oxygen fuel cell. Now friends, see what are the basic requirements of fuel cell. Again, there are two main basic requirements of fuel cell. Number one is fuel and oxidant, and while second is a catalyst. Now the fuel and oxidant must be relatively cheap and readily available. What is the meaning of that sentence? The liquid fuels used are, suppose example, methanol, ethanol, hydrazine, formaldehyde. And similarly, the oxidant used are oxygen, air, hydrogen, peroxide, and nitric acid, etc. So meaning is that these liquid fuel or fuel and oxidant must be relatively cheap and readily available. The second one basic requirement of fuel cell is catalyst. So what is the role of this catalyst? The reaction proceed in hydrogen oxygen fuel cell or any fuel cell at a faster rate at increased temperature and in presence of suitable catalyst. So catalyst can enhance the rate of chemical reaction which is going to take place in a fuel cell. Now see what are the advantages of fuel cell. Again, there are number of advantages of fuel cell. Out of that, some are here. In fuel cell, high efficiency of energy conversion from chemical energy to electrical energy takes place. How much amount of that chemical energy is converted to electrical energy? That is from 75 to 82.8%. There is no emission of gases and pollutants are within permissible limit. Fuel cell, low noise pollution and thermal pollution again. Fuel cells are modular and hence parts are exchangeable. The fast startup time occurs in a fuel cell of low temperature systems. Low cost fuels can be applicable to the fuel cell. The co-generation of heat will be increase the efficiency of high temperature systems. And last very important advantage of fuel cell is that it saves fossil fuel. Now what are the applications of fuel cells? Friends, we are trying to understand the application of fuel cells with the help of this diagram. Now suppose this is a fuel cell. Now the energy or electricity generated by this fuel cell can be applicable for various types of application. Number one, it can be applicable for auxiliary power unit for on-board electrical demand. So we can run the light motor vehicles with the help of this fuel cell. Secondly, we can combine heat and power for small businesses. Third, the green power from biogas. The methane which is produced from this biogas can be applicable as a fuel for the fuel cell, and the power generated is known as green power from the biogas. Then we can use that energy secure power for data centers, and lastly we can use this energy to run heavy transportation propelling forces. For a better understanding, we can take one of the example in details. So suppose we want to run this car with the help of this fuel cell. So we need a fuel for the fuel cell. Suppose hydrogen is a fuel which is applicable for the fuel cell. So we must need a fuel tank, hydrogen tank in a car. So to refill this hydrogen tank, we must again need a hydrogen station. At that hydrogen station, we can generate this hydrogen with the help of electrolysis of water. So hydrogen station is there. We can refill this hydrogen from this hydrogen station into the car. So if this hydrogen is available to the car, to the fuel the car which is inbuilt a fuel cell. So the fuel cell can run with the help of this hydrogen, and oxygen is obtained from the air. So fuel cell can run, generate electricity, and that electricity is directly applicable to run the car, or we can charge the batteries, and with the help of these batteries we can run this car. So with this example, friends, we can see details about the 12 sale. If you have any question, you can ask. So thank you friends. Again, for details you can take help of these sites, so you can visit or watch the videos from the given sites. So thank you very much once again.